Zoom 003. G'day ladies and germs, Connor here from C-Dubs Media, back with another video. Today we're doing my comparison between the Google 6 Pro and the Google 7 Pro. Just a quick video because they've just been released. I just want to point out the differences. My full review will go in soon on the 7 Pro, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Now, if at any stage during this video you find it useful or helpful, hit the thank you button or the subscribe button and the like button. If you do hit the thank you button, you can donate $2, $5, $10, $20 to the channel, whatever you want, whatever helps you feel good about helping me out, I'm down for it. So that's my first point I want to get across. Second point is, let's look at the devices. They look awesome. Now, this is the main differences between the 6 and the 7 Pro. I could go through the similarities, but I'd be here forever because they're very, very similar. Now, this is like an incremental upgrade from the 6 Pro to the 7 Pro. And I do want to stress that. It's a bit like, you know, when they first release a car or a model of car, they say, oh, never go with the first car in a series because they have all these problems. And then by the second car in the series, they fixed them all, and that's generally a better model to go with. And the same could be said here about the 7 Pro. A lot of people had complaints about the 6 Pro. I never really had any complaints that people were talking about. The fingerprint scanner was slow, and for me, some of the build was a little bit off. It was a little bit cheaper maybe, but the main one for me was the size of it. It's just massive. And whatever, I've gone with the 7 Pro again because I just can't stop myself from buying flagships, but it is a big display. 6.7 inches here. They're both 6.7 inches, except the 7 Pro is 162.9 millimeters tall. The 6 Pro was some 163.9 millimeters tall. So 1 millimeter difference in the height. And the 7 Pro is 76.6 millimeters wide. And the 6 Pro was 75.9 millimeters wide. So the 6 Pro was a little bit thinner, but taller. So whatever, it's the same size really at the end of the day. They both come on 5G. Now the displays to me are really identical. There is some differences explained here on the Google website, but I'm not sure if that's just the way they've outlined it to make it look like there's some little differences. But the 120 Hertz is up to 120 Hertz on both of them, but the 7 Pro is apparently between 10 and 120 Hertz, depending on what your device needs. And they're also saying on the Google website that the screen on the 7 Pro is scratch resistant Gorilla Glass, and they're not saying it is scratch resistant on the 6 Pro. But maybe it is, and maybe it's just someone was too lazy to write the same thing in. And I think that the peak brightness is definitely higher on the 7 Pro. It's coming in at 1500 nits. So you're not going to have any problems viewing this in daylight, bright sunlight, whatever. You're not going to have any issues viewing this device. Now, when it comes to battery life, they're actually saying that you're going to get longer battery life with the 7 Pro. And I don't know how. It's just got to be software tweaks, really, because they're saying 72 hours of battery life with extreme battery saver and only 48 hours of battery life on the 6 Pro. But the 6 Pro has 3 milliamps more. So I don't know how they're doing that. Again, I think it's software, but it is definitely something there. They both come with fast charge and wireless fast charging and battery share. Now the back of the 7 Pro is edgeless Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, and you can see that it looks pretty cool. They're saying on the 6 Pro that it doesn't have that. I don't know what the back is, but I do like it. I do like that visor on the 7 Pro. I think it definitely looks different. I really do like how they've got the cutouts, but they still got the visor. I think that visor now says this is a Pixel phone. Hopefully they keep that for a few years and just maybe change it up a little bit like they have with the 7 Pro. I should mention the colors. So you've got hazel, white and black on the 7 Pro, and then on the 6 Pro I think you had chalk, coral and black. So whatever, there's your 3 colors on each. They're both IP68 dust and water resistant, so it's good to see that. Both 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, so both got the same type of RAM in there, and they both come with 3.1 storage, 128, 256, 512 across both. Now, when it comes to security, there's some big changes. One is built-in VPN that comes with Google One, and they're not saying that you can get that on the 6 Pro. So maybe it's just a software feature that's delivered through Google One that they're not going to give to the 6 Pro users at this point in time. And then we also have Face Unlock, which again is software enabled, I believe. I don't know if there's any hardware in there that makes this more usable, better. I really don't. So we'll see if that eventually comes to the 6 Pro as well. But I'm glad it's there. I'll probably still end up going with the fingerprint sensor over time. But as you can see here, fingerprint sensor was never that good on the 6 Pro. I think it's here not there with the 7 Pro. And Face Unlock is a big step forwards and is worth upgrading for that. Now the cameras are still the same. You've got a 50 megapixel wide angle lens on the rear camera. Then you have the 12 megapixel ultra wide. Then you have the 48 megapixel telephoto. Now you do get 5 times optical zoom on the 7 Pro and 30 times super resolution zoom on the 7 Pro. Google are not saying you get that on the 6 Pro. Then we do get photo unblur, which is like wicked AI, and I can't wait to test that out. I'll go through some old photos and see if there's some there that I can unblur and get a good decent photo back. And then we also have macro focus on the camera as well, plus all the other usual Google camera features, which is amazing. There's so many of them. I'll just go through a couple quickly. You have night sight, you have top shot, you have portrait mode, super resolution mode, motion autofocus, live HDR, frequent faces, so it remembers frequent people that you take photos of, dual exposure control, so you can take 2 photos with different exposures, cinematic pan, ultra wide lens, portrait light, magic eraser, which is pretty cool. You delete things in your photo and it replaces them as though they were never there. Real tone, face unblur, panorama, manual white balancing, and you can also have locked folder as well. So lots of camera features, but not too many differences in these devices. They are definitely very, very similar. Yes, I prefer the 7. I think the design is better. It's more refined. There's a few extra features in there that I'm happy with. Now, we're now on the 2nd generation of the Tensor chip, which I think is good. The Tensor chip and 12 gigs of RAM, we're never going to have any performance issues here. The battery life seems to have been tweaked. Full review coming, like it's happening. So make sure you subscribe and like this video so you do get notified when I do the full review. I'm not going to do these tech reviewers, sit in the office and play with it for a few hours reviews. I'm going to use it for a couple of weeks before I release my full review. So everyone else will have done theirs by the time my review comes out, but you know that mine will be thorough. You know that mine is paid for with my own money. No one's given me this device. It's all through my own efforts. So stay tuned for that. I really hope that you've liked this video. Hit the like button and the subscribe button. And don't forget, if at any stage you found this helpful, hit the thank you button. Donate a little bit to the channel, just a little bit. Helps, goes a long way. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Check you.